Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and welcome back to part 2 of my massive DVD collection overview. As I had stated in part 1, this is just kind of going to be broken into many multiple parts. So I'm going to try and stick it to, I'm just going to try and do, like, multiple parts of each letter of the movie. So this part 2 of this massive collection overview is just going to be a continuation of the remaining A's in my DVD collection. So let's go ahead and get right into it. It's not going to be a very long video. Um, the next one that I had was 1979's The Amityville Horror. A lot of people regard this one as a classic. I think that this was actually definitely worthy of being remade when it was remade in 2005. So, I mean, this isn't one that I think a lot of horror fans were totally, protective of. I think it was kind of like they were in the middle. They didn't really care either way. But it's not a bad film. I mean, it's definitely worth checking out. Interestingly enough, I have the 2005 remake of The Amityville Horror. I really dug the remake. I thought I haven't watched it since I saw it in the theater, so I really should bust this out. But I remember being, thoroughly entertained throughout this. It definitely got a lot of jumps out of me, and I mean, a lot of people's gripes I think that I hear is that they didn't find Ryan Reynolds very believing and stuff like that. I thought he did just fine playing the character. I didn't really have many gripes with that, and I think the subtle, the changes that they actually made into the plot line actually just benefited the story. So I would definitely check this one out. It's a fun time. The 89-minute film that definitely entertained the shit out of me. Definitely worth the money to see it in theaters for sure. Next one I got, I don't even know why I got this. I think it was just kind of like an impulse buy because I don't really give a fuck for this movie, but I'm just obviously going to keep it in the collection. It's the unrated edition of Anchorman. I mean, I never really cared for this movie, but then there was like a certain time where people were quoting it a lot, and I started to find it really funny for some reason, the way people were quoting it. And there was just like a few scenes that I had found funny, and then I was like, I finally went out and bought it, and then when I watched it, I was like, I should have just gone with my gut because it's really not that funny. This is actually one of the most like least desirable movies that I have in my collection. It was just a really stupid buy, but nonetheless I have it in the collection, so it's here and it's staying. The next two I got were just mainly support of somebody online that I really admire, and I think he's fucking hilarious as shit. And this is the volume 1 of his of all of his episodes. This is the Angry Video Game Nerd Volume 1. He's bitches out and reviews video games like Simon's Quest, The Karate Kid, Roger Rabbit, Double Dragon 3, Top Gun, loads of stuff. But he actually does a really good job with his packaging and like his disc art and stuff. These are definitely very well made for the kind of stuff that he does. So it's very it's definitely worth the money to support somebody like that. I enjoy it. Moving on, I have Volume 2 of his of more video game reviews. Some of the best ones are on here. Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout. He does Fester's Quest, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Sega CD, and a three-part Ghostbusters review. These are some of my favorite episodes, so Volume 2 is awesome. Volume 3 just recently came out, so I gotta get on that too. Next movie I got, a recent one that I had shown in a pretty recent DVD update. It's from the Warner Brothers Archive Collection. One of my favorite films from the 1990s, Angus. It's a shame this movie didn't get a proper press DVD release, special edition, what have you, but if this is the only way I can get it, I was happy to get it because this is one movie that I've been longing to have in the collection forever. So definitely hop on the Warner Brothers Archive store and buy this because it's awesome. Totally awesome. Next one I got, every horror fan's got to have a little Evil Dead in them, so of course you got to show respect for Army of Darkness, the ending of the Evil Dead trilogy. This is just a good time. I mean, just really awesome special effects. Sam Raimi, really outdid himself with this one. Highly doubt we're ever going to see an Evil Dead 4, but, horror fans the world over can, cross their fingers and hope for it, but I wouldn't hold your breath for it. I think Drag Me to Hell is the closest you're going to get. Next one I got is a great comedy that I loved growing up, and this is just it's just really good as you get older too. From 1997, as good as it gets. I think it's definitely one of Jack Nicholson's best roles. The whole damn cast is really good. Greg Kinnear and Cuba Gooding Jr. and Helen Hunt. Just everybody's really solid in this one. I love this comedy, just phenomenal. Being a huge Johnny Depp fan, of course I had to I collect practically all of his movies, so that would explain why I have The Astronaut's Wife, starring him and Charlize Theron. This movie's okay. It's definitely, the depth that you've come to know when you kind of look at all of the films that he's done and playing, a lot of unique, eccentric characters. I think it's a movie like this and Nick of Time from 1995 that kind of really stand out the most out of his whole his whole body of work. But Nick of Time is actually not that bad of a movie. It's actually a pretty suspenseful, adrenaline pumping movie. But The Astronaut's Wife is it's one of his weaker films for sure. But, being a big Depp fan, I just had to have it in the collection. And the final movie for all of the A's in my collection, and again, I don't know why I did this, but I had gotten the 2-disc full screen edition of this, and I did a blind buy on it when it was originally released on DVDs, but I saw it and I absolutely loved it. I think that Scorsese did a phenomenal job on this, and it's The Aviator. I really, really like DiCaprio's performance, and I think Cate Blanchett did a phenomenal job in this. A lot of people, I think a lot of people were on the fence of this. I think a lot of people found DiCaprio's Howard Hughes believable enough. I thought that he did really, really phenomenal. I think he played, a really insane character. It was a very, complex character to play, and I think Scorsese directed him really well through it, and I thought DiCaprio just brought something really special for, towards it, and the Academy Awards definitely noticed that, and that explains why he got a nomination that year. But this is definitely a Scorsese film that should not be missed. It's got a really lengthy timeline on it. It's about like 170 minutes, 170, but it's really, really intriguing and it's a very engaging film, so I would definitely check that one out. Well, guys, that wraps up all of the DVDs in my collection that start with a number or the A's. As always, thanks again for tuning into all my videos. I hope to continue doing my DVD collection overviews down through the B's and the C's and D's, etc. Just, the whole thing. So I hope that you guys are enjoying what you're seeing so far. If you're enjoying it, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. This is Frightener22.